Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. I wanted to get a little bit more footage of BROLY, CHEELAI, and LEMO. Obviously, they're a main EZA. They are very, very good. Let's hop into the Omega Shenron fight. And just use BROLY, CHEELAI, and LEMO to their full power here. BROLY, CHEELAI, and LEMO obviously are a substantial buff to Broly's team. Right, Broly is certainly a very, very powerful character. Let's put Fusion Zamasu in slot 1 right here. Yeah, this way, if Omega supers right away, the only lockdown he'll do will be on Fusion Zamasu. Doesn't really need to get, like, stacks or anything like that. Broly can, kind of, like, comfortably build up. I don't know if I'm going to do the Broly rotation here or what. Like, I'm kind of just going to play it by ear. The main point is just to kind of get some, I think, good footage of BROLY, CHEELAI, and LEMO. They should be pretty safe in this fight. I mean, certainly STR Omega, I think, is still a strong enough boss that he could touch them. But obviously there's a lot of RNG that goes into that with STR Omega, right? Where he puts his super attack will dramatically change the damage that he's going to do on any given turn. Like STR Omega Shenron, the amount of damage he could do throughout a turn, it varies so much. Now, BROLY, CHEELAI, and LEMO, let's say we don't get their 7 orbs. They have that built-in 50% dodge now. So we probably could still be good to go. When it comes to like a dodge or die character, right, like BROLY, CHEELAI, and LEMO against this STR Omega, I'm always going to favor my chances with dodging against some of these bosses like that. So I do think we're going to have a pretty decent shot. Now, obviously, we'll see how things are going to go. Gogeta's existence on the team does mean they are going to have a Rainbow Orb Changer around, which could, work out pretty well for us if we're able to, basically, once we get to STR Omega, we're going to have BROLY, CHEELAI, and LEMO and Blue Gogeta on the same rotation, right? Getting Gogeta turn 1 is a really good stroke of luck, because it means you're going to have Blue Gogeta out on turn 4, as long as you float him off, which will be really good. Did he not super? Omega? Hello? Okay. So, we will... Well, actually, what we could do is we could just do... Yeah, there we go. Okay. I guess I'll just give BROLY, CHEELAI, and LEMO this right here. So we're going to go ahead and give a bunch of support. They gave huge attack support. What's the attack support we're given? 54% to AJL BROLY at the end. Obviously, Tech Omega, we can't dodge. So, like, the dodging aspect of BROLY, CHEELAI, and LEMO doesn't really matter too much. But we could, utilize those STR orbs to get nice offensive support to the rotation. Since offensive support, that's all we're going to need against this Omega, right? Remember that BROLY, CHEELAI, and LEMO too. If we're able to get them in slot 1, they do have that damage reduction support that they could give to the entire rotation, which can really be very, very good for us, right? I think in particular that could be very good for like Tech Fusion Zamasu, right? Because they give either movie bosses or super bosses characters, right? They give the damage reduction. This should be like double digits, right? Very, very low. Yeah, 29k. Okay, I mean, I'll take it. They are first and foremost a dodging support character. If they're going to be able to eat that, that's pretty good. We'll definitely take that. But that damage reduction support could potentially help like Fusion Zamasu or something. I think Fusion Zamasu in this fight, though, he's probably only going to encounter issues if he would have to eat into Omega's super attack. No crits from this BROLY right here. I guess for the showcase, it probably would be better if BROLY just leaves this Omega with a sliver of health. We'll finish him next turn, and then, okay, well, he does finish him. And I was going to say, we'd have BROLY, CHEELAI, and LEMO going into the STR phase, which, I mean, this is the problem phase for them. Obviously, into Omega shouldn't really be too much of an issue. So we completely bypassed in EJL Zamasu, huh? Let's see. Okay, so we're going to have the other BROLY here. So I guess, we are going to pretty easily be able to just do the BROLY rotation. I guess I'll probably leave... We should probably leave Tech Zamasu. on rotation. Let's do that. Let's leave Tech Zamasu on rotation for the final phase. That would only, again, should only bite us if into Omega would super him. That could be pretty bad. I think Zamasu, if our HP was below, what's the threshold? It's 70%. Tech Zamasu, when you're below 70%, his defense is really, like, it gets really crazy how high his defense can get. I've seen really impressive turns of Tech Fusion Zamasu tanking when we're below that 70% HP threshold for him. So if we're under that, that of course could make a pretty big deal. And remember, that's going to be, it's not like a start of turn thing, that's when he gets hit too. So it is designed rather well. Tech Fusion Zamasu is very good. If you ever want to laugh, remember there was morons, idiots, who were downplaying the shit out of him not too long ago. Made no sense. Like, obviously these fights have not progressed past his level. Like, no way. No way. This guy is still really good. And this guy, like, he's strong enough. We're just going to completely tear through STR Omega. Yeah, like, look at, like, these new, like, this new era of teams now. Like, these bosses just don't have the juice, man. There's not enough. That's why it's good. We got the Dragon Ball Super movie memorial fights, man. Those are going to be the real fights. Do we have... Yeah, we do. We have our 7 right there. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and transform into Blue Gogeta. Obviously, no reason not to do that. I'm pretty sure we're just going to casually win this pretty easily right here. I might want to circle back around and get at least one rotation of Broly, CHEELAI, and Lemo against STR Omega, though. Because, like, we ended up just completely bypassing him. And, I mean, that doesn't make for the greatest showcase. We could get our pretty easy dub here. We could get... So this is something that I do like about Broly, CHEELAI, Lemo. We got a pretty good rotation right here. We could choose, right? Because, remember, Gogeta, by the way, he would have Rainbow Orb changed in Super Saiyan, and then once we went Blue, he would have Rainbow Orb changed again. We could get this right here, and that would give defensive support to the rotation. Or we could go with that, and then that would give them higher stats. I feel like people probably care to see Broly, CHEELAI, and Lemo more so with the higher stats. But I think probably the smarter way to have played this would have been to just give the defensive support. Make sure that Gogeta gets a Rainbow Orb right there. We're probably going to kill Broly here. Or, excuse me, Omega. We're probably going to kill him. I think so. Oh, there's a super attack. Well, you know, a funny thing happened. We had a 100% chance to touch there. 100%. So, yeah, it's not really going to do us too well. We have so many dodge characters now that just have, like, crazy dodge shenanigans. It does not surprise me to see the plethora of fights released during this 9th anniversary that do cancel dodge, because you have to. I mean, what is a boss gonna do with this character running around, right? Like, you know, we're running them on the Broly team where they have the 200% leader skill. Like, we could run them on Power of Wishes pretty easily. Like, you can run one villain on the team and God Goku still gets his intro. So, like, you know, we could run Power of Wishes with Broly, CHEELAI, and Lemo being the one villain on the team, and God Goku could still have his intro. We could have Bulma on there. You know, like, you could do other shenanigans. I don't like it as much, but, I mean, you could try and toy around with LR, Ribrand, Rosie, and Kakunsa. It just, to me, I feel like that has such an obvious ability to go wrong, right? Like, if your rotations are not tight at the start, Ribrian, like, that LR Ribrian orbs is not really going to do too much for Broly, CHEELAI, and Lemo, I don't think. Like, you're going to need them pretty close together. But, like, Power of Wishes is definitely a possibility with a lot of the orb changing that we have over there to potentially be able to disintegrate it. Okay, so this did work pretty well. We got to the Omega's strongest phase here towards the end. We got the guaranteed dodge on the super attack. That was that. I think let's just finish this runoff with Broly, Transform Broly. And then after that, we can go ahead, and I do just want to get one more turn of Broly, CHEELAI, and Lemo against STR Omega. That's where things potentially could go bad, but that would only really be if they didn't have their orbs. But even still, they do just have dodge built in. And of course, I like giving them that hidden potential system dodge too, to just kind of, like, more so, like, giving them hidden potential system dodge, you're more so raising the floor of the character, right? Like, I feel like it is a good way to look at it. I think if you go full crit on them, you're potentially raising, I guess, their ceiling, but I would much rather raise their floor, which is what the dodge build for them would do, right? That protects them on turns where they don't have the 7 orbs. So, all right, let's go ahead and transform our Broly and finish Omega off here. All right, so Broly will create his domain. Just a couple of quick attacks from Transform Broly, and that should be it for this guy. Shouldn't really take too many. It's just a few short attacks, and Omega is going to be cooked right here. And again, we'll come back just for one rotation. If we get the 7 orbs against STR Omega, that's good, but that's going to be the toughest part of the fight for Broly, CHEELAI, and Lemo, is going to be that phase, the STR Omega phase. Like, if STR Omega supers right away, and they don't have their 7 orbs, I mean, they potentially could even take damage from normals, you know, or AoEs, or depending upon how things could go. It could go sideways for them. It's possible, but they do have a pretty strong kit. I do like our chances. One other ability we didn't really get a chance to show here was them changing the full field of orbs, but that really is just kind of like a almost like a final trump card, like kind of like last resort type thing that they do have access to kind of like give you like a full HP reset, which is really nice. Okay, this is beautiful. Okay, so we're gonna get to see, is this double digits, Daddy? Oh shit! Yeah, sure is. Yeah, sure is. Yeah, Broly's that guy. That's pretty good. That is pretty good, because remember, even though Omega, I mean, we now have a boss, like a much stronger version of Omega in the blue Gogeta boss, who's doing over 2 million with the defensive debuff. I mean, this guy, Omega, I think his damage is still 1.4 with the defensive debuff. That hits very hard. So for Broly to just tank it like that, mwah, beautiful, beautiful. All right, guys, here we have a rotation. Let's just go and transform into Gogeta. The good news for us here is, I mean, with Gogeta around, it's going to be pretty easy to do this. Typically. In my experience, Rainbow Orb changing is pretty consistent. So as long as you've got a Rainbow Orb changer with Broly, CHEELAI, and Lemo, which Gogeta could serve that purpose on this team, and again, if we're going to run them on Power Wishes, their other setup, I mean, we could have Bulma. There's a few characters, depending upon the fight. Maybe we could run, like, Spirit Bomb absorbs Goku. Again, God Goku, you could run with them on the same team and still have God Goku's intro orb changing. Like, there's stuff you could do. I really like Broly, CHEELAI, and Lemo's EZA. I think Dokkan, they really understood the assignment, I think, with this character. To maximize their value, but to maximize their value to where, like, teams need help, which, you know, Broly's team, I think is completely different with this character existing, especially because, you know, this character can also, again, it's not an ability that we saw during this video, but that full field orb reset that they have, that shit, it's just so strong. It's so strong and so good. Being able to have that in our back pocket is just really good. It's just awesome. So there we go. There is EZA, LR, Broly, CHEELAI, and Lemo. Again, they're going to pretty much dominate. most fights in the game, either on this or their other team, Power Wishes. I mean, we have the new fight. I think that is probably the hardest in the game against the BROLY. Funny enough, it ends against BROLY, CHEELAI, and Lemo. I think BROLY, CHEELAI, and Lemo, even probably in that fight, would still be quite effective. Obviously, you can't dodge at the end, but I still think that they could be quite an asset because, you know, there are several phases of strong bosses where you can dodge leading up to it. So let me know what you guys think of them, BROLY, CHEELAI, and Lemo, but their EZA is goddamn good.